It's been an amazing journey, particularly at 9, watching you and how you've balanced it all, and then going into camp and bringing in so many of your own concepts along the way. See you, mate. How nice was it to actually be able to seal the deal last night and walk away with a 10-point win in Melbourne?
Yeah, well, when you're coaching, you finally get to the game. You know, you think you've done every bit of preparation you can, but there's always the unknown on how they're going to go out and play, and then to watch so many young players, and obviously we're talking about the rookies, and just to watch them to go out. And the big thing was they defended their line and they brought the ball off their line nearly the whole game. We just seemed to be coming out of our end the whole game, and the blokes who were at the back weren't renowned for doing that, but they did an unbelievable job. So that tells you they aimed up for each other, and that's what we wanted.
Any one moment stick out in your mind, Freddie? You probably haven't had a chance yet to review the game, but can you remember any moments where sort of got you out of your chair and ones that you remember?
Just a whistle at the end. Just a whistle.
Relief?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was good. You know, Josh Adokar, watching him score that try, I thought was outstanding. You know, not only because, you know, got us to nearly an unassailable lead. We still had to defend, I think, for about 10 minutes or so. But just the manner in which he did it. He's just such a great character of our game, Josh Adokar. And you know, I'm hoping if he just gets better and better, I think there's going to be a lot of kids that are inspired by what he can do.
Now, Freddie, we know you're a casual person, and you know that with Origin, being the coach of Origin, comes a lot of pressure. Did the pressure exceed your expectations, or were you surprised at how easily you did it? What was the feeling like?
I think, like, if I compared our preparation to, say, Queensland, it was, you know, a major contrast given, you know, Billy and then Dane Gagai and obviously Cameron just before. So, you know, Kevy had a lot to deal with this year. I don't know if they've had to deal with so much before. So when you look at our preparation, other than the fact we're dealing with a lot of new players, and there was, you know, the intrigue, I suppose, if they were going to be able to do it on the night. That was really the only doubt. So I think once the first 10, 15 minutes had gone, Lockie, I realised that, you know what, they're in this together and they're going to have a crack. So I sort of felt pretty good. And I think, you know, when Jimmy threw the intercept, I felt all right. I felt like our defence was never really overly stretched. So, you know, I think that's the key. If you're not getting broken down all the time, I think you feel like a try could come at any stage, and I think that's what ended up happening.
Freddie, I want to ask you about Jimmy Maloney. When he gets on the training paddock and on the field, his attention to detail and what he can do is probably second to none. But away from that, he's an absolute pest and a pain in the backside. Honestly, when you were doing yoga sessions or stretching sessions or your meditation sessions...
He wasn't invited.
I was about to say, what was he doing? What was he getting up to? He would have ruled it forever, wouldn't he?
There was two timetables. There was Jimmy's timetable and then there was the rest of the team. So we had him out of all of those sessions. Imagine sitting there trying to sort of meditate with Jimmy, just flicking you in the ears or something.
Was there a lot of time with you and Jack there together?
Oh, Jack, yeah, he's right into it. He's
a breather.
He's a new age dude, Jack.
And if Jack was there, I imagine Joey was there too, Freddie.
Joey Johns, actually. We had Minnie come in. Minnie come in and did a yoga session with us, but the majority, I've got to say, was staff, actually. So just trying to stay young and limber. But a few of the players got right into it, and they, you know, they enjoyed it. They got out of it I don't know what they got out of it, actually, but they enjoyed it.
Hey, Freddie, you spoke about your back three especially, and I thought Adokar he showed a whole lot more strength than I thought he had coming out of their end. But Tommy Turbo, I thought, you played him up the middle of the ruck in that first half. He seemed to create a lot of damage, and I thought he was really good. They put a lot of bombs up to him. He caught every single one of them. Were you impressed with him?
Yeah, well, some big bit of advice I got from different coaches going in was try not to pick players out of position. Tommy, during the start of the season, in my eyes, could have been fullback, could have played centre. He just seems like one of those players. I think because he's played for Australia in a couple of different positions, I think I just want him in the team. You know, I didn't know where it was going to be, but there's something about Tom Trebojevic that I just like, and he just didn't let us down. And some people told me that he, you know, coming out of trouble, it mightn't be his go, but I thought his carries were outstanding. And then to nail the try, that's it's sort of just one of those moments I think he'll never forget. But yeah, he exceeded my expectation for sure.
Hey, Freddie, the walk from the hotel to the ground at the MCG seemed to work. The players seemed to enjoy it. It was only a few hundred metres. Is it something you might employ for Sydney if you are staying where I think you are across from ANZ?
I will check out the distance, but we'll look into the security risks and all that sort of stuff. But I thought, if you compare getting on a bus for 30 minutes or walking 5 minutes, it just didn't make sense to really get on a bus. And the players, because they're also new, they're not used to anything particular. So we did it for training, and they all seemed to enjoy that. And they bought into it. And actually, when we got in there, it happened that quick. We didn't really have much time to even discuss it. But after the game, a lot of them just said how refreshing it was, and how there was some fans around. There was a little bit of gibber from some Queenslanders and some messages of support. But all in all, I thought they thought it was a positive.
Freddie, before we let you go, what are those other animals crawling around behind you? Just some little white ones.
They're little sheep. I got some sheep, little cutlets and.
Some